The horrible things narcissists have in mind when they think you're their everything. Not all individuals who display narcissistic traits may necessarily have narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. Narcissism is a spectrum, and individuals may display varying degrees of narcissistic traits. That being said, it is true that individuals with NPD often enter partnerships for the sole purpose of receiving flattery and having their sexual desires met. This is because they have an inflated sense of self-worth and believe that they are entitled to have their needs met without regard for the needs of their partner. Additionally, narcissists often have difficulty forming genuine connections with others because they are so focused on themselves. They tend to view others as mere extensions of themselves and have trouble recognizing the individuality of others. This is why they often play up the fact that they recognize and value the friendship of others, as they are attempting to manipulate others into fulfilling their own needs. It is also important to note that narcissists often struggle with feelings of guilt and vulnerability, which is why they tend to avoid situations in which they may be perceived as weak or vulnerable. They often feel the need to be in control of their interactions with others, as they are afraid of being hurt or rejected. Narcissists are enthusiastic about initiating a romance. However, their enthusiasm is directed inward toward their own tastes and principles. To help persons with narcissism, we cater to their unquenchable thirst for praise and adulation. Narcissists see conversation more as a tool than a destination. The point is to unwind and enjoy being outside. They may be hopelessly committed to discovering true love and winning over their potential soulmate with nothing but their undying devotion. Sadly, those times no longer exist. Human touch is a sign of compassion from those who actually care about us. The signs are that they value and seek out such associations. Love bombing is the process by which narcissists try to make their prey more receptive to love. First, language may convey nuance and foster trust rapidly. Second, the narcissist needs consistent social interaction. However, many narcissists use affectionate behaviors for their own benefit. Even when they aren't the center of attention, narcissists are still preoccupied with themselves. Today, I want to talk about PDAs, or public displays of affection. It's impossible for two people who genuinely care for one another to keep that love to themselves. But narcissists are convinced that they are special and utilize this delusion to manipulate and exploit people around them. Narcissists are constantly seeking approval from their loved ones. This is a promise of eternal love they make to those they care about. Narcissists are more prone to show their affection early in a relationship through physical contact, also known as the love bombing phase. In a blossoming romance, physical contact persists but takes on a more calculated tone. Those familiar with narcissists know that their participation in any activity is purely theatrical. When you start to criticize each other behind each other's backs, the honeymoon is over. When you are alone, you are subjected to verbal attacks, selective amnesia, and disdain. It's safe to assume that someone has ulterior motives when they suddenly declare their undying love for you. Narcissists deliberate carefully over how they might best express their appreciation. When they're with their closest friends and family, that's when they truly shine. When people feel relaxed, they are more likely to show empathy, consideration, and affection. If they like you, they may even tell their friends about you. If the narcissist tries to help you out in any manner, you can count on them to make things worse. Every time they do something that borders on friendliness, you should assume they are up to no good. People like that can be nasty to you when you're not looking, but they can put on a good front when other people are around, or when it serves their goals. For a narcissist, nothing matters more than the approval of others. They won't give a hoot if you feel completely disregarded and mistreated. To them, it makes no difference whether you're happy or sad, playing the part of someone who is convinced, rather than worrying about whether or not they actually are. If you ask them privately about this sudden behavior change, they will undoubtedly have a number of explanations ready to offer. Their inability to concentrate could be due to any number of factors, including stress at work, illness, or plain distraction. On the contrary, narcissists put themselves and their own needs and want ahead of everyone else's. It shouldn't cost them anything to show they care if they truly value you. The presence of others is never an excuse for inappropriate behavior. Any attempt to get to know you better must be sincere. A narcissist might desire nothing more than to be showered with attention when things are going well in a relationship. But they might become quite uncomfortable with physical contact if things start to go south. The only acceptable kinds of physical contact are hugs, kisses, and holding hands. If narcissists can meet their needs, they may quit actively pursuing attention, both in public and private. They may have less of a need to remain close to you if they are able to meet their emotional needs elsewhere. Narcissists usually react negatively and become enraged in such situations. We now know, however, that the narcissist's display of affection, like all of their other gestures of kindness, is all fake. They demand a lot from you, and you need to consider that. When it comes to their emotions, narcissists aren't ready for the real world, so they lie to make it seem like they care about other people. Narcissists use the admiration and affection of others to fuel their own inflated sense of self-worth. There's nothing we can do but watch for warning signs. You should try to avoid falling into the pitfalls that narcissists have set up for others. There, an expression of undying love plays a pivotal role in the story. Summing up, this video explores how people who suffer from narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, act in intimate partnerships. Individuals with NPD have an exaggerated sense of self-worth and believe they are entitled to have their wants met without regard to the needs of their partner. Narcissists have trouble making real connections with people and see them as extensions of themselves, who can be manipulated with flattery and other forms of psychological blackmail. Narcissists utilize love bombing to make their partners more open to love, and they use physical displays of affection to change in tone and intensity as the relationship develops. Narcissists are always trying to win over the favor of their loved ones, even though they aren't actually involved in anything beyond a superficial level. I hope you have found this to be educational and helpful. What do you think about this topic? Leave a comment below if you have anything to add, and to be notified every time we publish new content, simply subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this.